Hello BookTube, my name is Elizabeth and of course this is Book Babble. Today I'm going to be doing my weekly wrap up for the first week of April, and this includes like a little bit of the end of March. I did my last week of March wrap up and I ended up reading another book, so let's just get started. When I left you off my last wrap up, I was in the middle of The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I ended up finishing this and I loved it. I had mentioned in my last wrap up that it was a little slow and it didn't really seem like there was much going on, and I still feel that way, but the ending was so worth it. I watched the movie last night with my husband and it was amazing, and I came to the realization that basically the first 2/3 of the book is just a setup so that you have all of the feels in the last third of the book. So it's really hard to get through at least the first half of the book, but it makes it so much worth it when you get to the end and you figure out the end of the story, and it's just amazing. I love this book. I see what everyone is talking about now, but again, it's really hard to get through the middle, so if you haven't read this yet, I highly recommend it. Just you have to power through the beginning and you will see that it is so worth it. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I finished reading The Shadow Queen by C.J. Redwine. This is a fantasy. It is a Snow White retelling, and I enjoyed this retelling so much. As you guys know, I love the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Meyer, and this gave me that same feel. It has an evil villain that you love to hate, and the heroine is just so amazing. I love this book. The storytelling is beautiful. It's very fairy tale-esque, and I just really enjoyed this. I gave this one a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I'm going to be doing a full review on this book next Sunday with Chloe over at the Brunette Bibliophile. This is our book of the month for the Once Upon a Read Along for March, and we had to push back the live show a couple of weeks just because we're having scheduling issues, but it's fine. Our live show is going to be next Sunday, and I plan on telling you all of the amazing things, what I feel about this book. It was so good. Highly recommend it if you're a big fan of fairy tale retellings. Then I had the honor of being a part of the first BookTube tours, which is hosted by Grace over at Lovingdon Books, and the first book that we reviewed in our BookTube review tour is Dream House by Marcia Bezognin, as I think how you pronounce her name. I'm like horrible, but I heard other people reviewing it who watch her more than I do, and I believe it's pronounced Marcia. I kept saying Marzia or something like that, so I apologize. Sorry. But this is a young adult horror thriller type book, and I enjoyed it. I have a full review up on my at the moment. I will link it down below if you guys want to check it out. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars, so I enjoyed it, but I definitely obviously had some issues with it. This is Marcia's first book, and you know, she is a YouTuber by trade. She has her own YouTube channel. I think she does like lifestyle vlogging and stuff like that, so she isn't an author by trade, and of course it had some of its issues that all YouTube books have. The writing wasn't up to par, but overall I did enjoy the story. Then I listened to Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins on audiobook, and I liked this. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars as well, and when this came out, everyone was really on the Gillian Flynn train after reading what's the name of that one book that became a movie? I can't remember that Gillian Flynn book, but that Gillian Flynn book was really popular at the time, and so everyone wanted some adult psychological thriller, and then this came out by Paula Hawkins and everyone read it, and I heard a lot of people saying that it was nowhere near as good as that book, and I agree. I definitely like Gillian Flynn's book a lot better. I'll put the name here because I cannot think of the name for the life of me. It's Girl something, I think, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so it definitely was not as good as Gillian Flynn, but I still did enjoy the story. It definitely has some triggers for alcoholism and infertility, which is really hard for me. If you guys have been watching my vlog channel or my announcement video where I talk about my vlog channel, I am dealing with infertility at the moment, and me and my husband are seeing doctors to try to figure it out and see what's wrong. So this definitely hit home for me. It was hard to read, but I'm not very big. Triggers really don't do much for me. They're not much of a trigger, but I know for some people they are. There's also some domestic violence in this, and then obviously there is a murder. So, you know, there are major triggers in this book, and the writing style and the storytelling was not as good as Gillian Flynn's book. It didn't have that twist at the end, but for an adult psychological thriller, I thought this was pretty good. I wasn't expecting the ending at all. Totally threw me through a loop. So I did enjoy it. If you're a big fan of adult psychological thrillers, I would recommend reading this because it is good. It's just not up to par to what most people on BookTube that I've experienced are reading. And then last night I was able to finish reading Once Upon a Dream by Liz Braswell. This is the second book in the Twisted Tales series that is being published by Disney Hyperion. And basically they have hired Liz Braswell to retell all of the main Disney fairy tales, but with one major twist. So the first one in this series was the Aladdin retelling, and it was called A Whole New World. The twist with that one was that Jafar was able to get the lamp and get Genie before Aladdin was, and so that was the big twist of the story. And what I really enjoyed about that book with this series is that the whole first part of the book was completely exactly the same as the Disney version of the movie, and I really enjoyed that. And we got to see the Genie, and his character was just so much like Robin Williams, who voices him in the Disney animated film, that it just, and this was right after, not right after, but a couple months after Robin Williams had passed away. So seeing his character and the exact same personality that the Genie was in the movie was so refreshing. I loved A Whole New World. It was so good. Highly recommend. Once Upon a Dream, the twist for this story is that Aurora never wakes up. And so I was expecting it to be very, very similar to the Disney film version, but because the twist is Aurora never wakes up, it can't really be that way. They kind of have to get directly to the point, because at the end of the movie is when Aurora gets kissed and wakes up, but they really needed to start this book when Aurora doesn't wake up. So you don't get really a lot of the Disney original film in this book, which I was a little upset with, but it's also from like the 50s, so it didn't really have much personality, the movie anyway. But overall, I did enjoy it. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first book in the series, but I still think it has its merit. It has really beautiful writing style. I love Liz Braswell. She is so good at retelling these Disney fairy tales. I'm really enjoying these series. I cannot wait for the next one to come out. I'm not sure which fairy tale they're going to be retelling next time. Guys, I am just so excited about this. I had to put like a little cut in here. I'm sitting here at my computer editing this video, which is why it's obviously different, and I decided to look at Goodreads to see if the third book in the Twisted Tales series has been announced, and it has, and I'm just so excited because the cover is beautiful. It is called A Tale as Old as Time, and it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and the twist is that what if Belle's mother was the one that cursed Beast, and I'm just so excited. I had to put this in here. So I'm really sorry about the change of scenery and the different everything, but I was just too excited not to tell you guys. I cannot wait. But I just can't wait to read this whole series. It is really good. Highly recommend if you like fairy tale retellings. Alright guys, so that was everything I read the last week and a half. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me what you've read this week down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!